everybody, Skin Deep Beauty Vlogger here. I hope you're all really well. It was IMATS this weekend. I'm hoping that I'm going to get this video up quickly. I did promise that my next videos would be holiday themed, and I have filmed those but I haven't actually edited them yet, and I thought let's just get this video up whilst it's still current. So all about IMATS today. I went a little bit crazy, so I don't know if this is going to be in two parts. I'm going to do my NYX haul separately. This is going to be all about IMATS, haul and vlog, and so without further ado I'm just going to jump in and get started. But first I'm going to mention what's on my lips. This is the Smashbox Be Legendary lipstick in Magenta Matte. I actually really wish that Smashbox were at IMATS, but they weren't, but I thought some of you might be wondering what's on my lips because it's a bold lip colour today. Just felt like doing something bright and a bit different. I'm going to get started with Hakuhodo. Love Hakuhodo brushes. I actually wrote a little list of ones that I wanted to check out, and in my list I put don't go crazy because it's so tempting. I mean, when you're touching the brushes, if you haven't tried Hakuhodo brushes, they're amazing, wonderful quality Japanese makeup brushes. They're amongst the best you can get, and when you're touching them it just feels like kittens. You feel like when you apply your makeup with them it would be like little kittens kissing your makeup onto your skin. That's the best way I can describe it. I did some research before I went and I ended up being really good and just getting one brush. This is the J521, which was on my shopping list last year but they didn't have it. It's really teeny tiny, but the reason I wanted to get this was inspired by I believe this was inspired by Redhead PhD. She recommends this as a really good tight liner brush, so that's why I wanted to get this. So I will give that a go. Maybe you'd like to see a Hakuhodo brush collection and review. I think I'd need to think about how I would do that, but let me know in the comments below if that's something that's of interest. After Hakuhodo, none of the other brushes felt that great, but I did stock up on quite a few brushes this year. Last year I was quite restrained in brushes, but this year I seem to go a bit crazy. One of the brands that I wasn't particularly familiar with at all was Nanshy. It was their first year at IMATS. It's a new brand, they are British, and I was really impressed with their social media before going to IMATS. They were really interactive on Twitter. So I wanted to check out their stand and I picked up the Buffed Base brush, which looks a little bit squished in the packaging, but it's just a round top sort of Kabuki buffing brush, so great for foundation, synthetic of course. And then I also picked up the Nanshy Marvel Makeup Blending Sponge 4-in-1, which is basically their version of the Beauty Blender. I've never tried the Beauty Blender before, but I thought I would do a video trying out the Beauty Blender for the first time, and then maybe I could do another video, I don't know, comparing and reviewing this against the Beauty Blender. I've also got the Real Techniques complexion sponge, so I could do a similar thing with that. Maybe apply half my makeup with one and the other. Let me know again if that's something that's of interest. Sugarpill were there, and I've heard great things about their pigmented, brightly coloured products. I really liked their stand. The girls on it were sort of dressed up really nicely, and you can see that in my vlog section. Despite the large bag, I actually only picked up one eyeshadow. It's a sort of rose gold, very wearable shade, great for that all over wash of colour that I so often do because it's quick and easy. And I love the name of this. It's called Kitten Parade, and I'm just going to put this in my Z palette or Z palette. It's not a heart shape, unfortunately. It is a traditional round pan. That's just the shape of the window. But excited to try that. Let me know if any of these products appeal to you for a tutorial, or maybe I could do a get ready with me with the products that I bought at IMATS. Again, comment. Fill the below bit with comments. Normally at IMATS I use it as a great opportunity to stock up on my beloved Makeup Forever HD foundation, which is my holy grail. I've done a full review and sort of foundation routine, which I will link below. But actually I was pretty restrained. I've got quite a few backups and it's now available, thankfully, in Debenhams here in the UK. So I only picked up one thing from Makeup Forever, and that was the Pro Fusion Bronze, or Pro Bronze Fusion. It's a waterproof bronzing compact, really reflective packaging that is going to get fingerprints all over it like crazy. But Kathleen Lights here on YouTube really raves about this, and that was what inspired me to pick it up. And I thought that this shade, which is called 10M, this is the lightest one that they do, would be a really good light bronzer that would be very wearable. So really pleased to try that out. So really excited to try that out. It wasn't the cheapest, I think it was around £16–17, but I do love Makeup Forever as a brand. It's one of my favourites. I have been thinking maybe I should do a one brand tutorial using them, so again, let me know if that appeals. Lots of video ideas. As you can probably guess, I'm feeling really inspired having just gone to IMATS. This is not a product that you would use for contouring. It's very much a classic bronzer for giving a sun-kissed glow. I really like the synthetic brushes that Crown Brush do, so I wanted to pick up a concealer brush for pinpoint concealing, and I chose the C176, which I think is a nylon one. It was only £3. I think Crown Brush do really good synthetic brushes. Hard to go wrong, they're really affordable as well. And Zoe Newlove had a team there. Again, you'll see that in the vlog section. One of the stands that had the second biggest queue was one called something like Bee Beauty or something like that. They had Sigma products there. They also had the Balm and Milani, but they were a little bit more expensive than I've seen products before. So I picked up a backup of my Sigma large angled contour F40 brush. This is one of my favourite face brushes. I do already have one, but it's getting a little bit loose, and I do take care when I'm washing my brushes, so a bit disappointing. This really is one of my favourite brushes for applying blush with, even though it's called the large angled contour, because I find that I can give a sort of contoured look with my blush when I use this. I really do like it. And then I was very much into the sort of precision, getting into the crevices of the face kind of applicators. So that Nanshy Beauty Blender dupe, that sort of got lots of interesting angles to it. And I haven't really heard anyone talk about these or seen much about them. I'm sure they have, I've probably just missed it. But this is the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki, which, as you can probably tell, is cut in a really interesting way. So great for sort of buffing in foundation, but also getting into the crevices of the face, such as around the nose, and that is something that I do struggle with when I'm applying my foundation normally. So excited to pick that up, and because I picked up a couple of Sigma bits, Sigma are really good at giving free gifts, so I got this free shader lid travel brush in E56. Not a brush that I would choose to pick up, but nice to have a freebie nonetheless. I went a little bit crazy on Delium tools, and people often talk about Delium tools here on YouTube, I guess because they pick them up at IMATS. They've been there every year that I've been. This was my third year going to IMATS. I love it every year. It was a shame that there were fewer sort of blogger friends there, and you know, it really is getting fewer and fewer YouTubers each year. I did see M Ford, but other than that, it really was quite thin on the ground in terms of the YouTubers. 2 years ago, they all seemed to be there. Last year, fewer because it coincided with VidCon, but nonetheless there were still others there. This year, very thin on the ground indeed. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I've never actually picked up anything from Delium before. I've always walked past it and ummed and ahed, and this year I did, and I ended up going a little bit crazy and getting quite a few brushes from their stand. And the reason being that they had a pro makeup artist on the stand, and she was really useful. She was really interesting to talk to, commenting on sort of what her favourite brushes are, and that really inspired me, made me want to pick up some of her recommendations. First one I picked up was the Duet Fibre Foundation brush. This is one of the vegan ones, that's why it's pale pink, and it's synthetic. I thought this would be nice for applying a cream contour with. It's not the thickest, but I figured that would give a nice light application. That was £8. And then I also picked up the sort of more densely packed contour brush, the 945, again from the same pink vegan line, for £7. And I was talking to the lady about the fact that that was what I intended to use them for, and she recommended this eye brush, which is the 787 Duet Fibre Tapered Blending Brush, which she said she really likes to use for a contour because it's small enough to do your sort of nose contouring, Cupid's bow, highlighting if you want as well. Gives a nice controlled application, and that was £6. Obviously you could also use it to blend your eyeshadow as well, because it is an eye brush. And because I was really inspired by her, I was like, what other brushes do you recommend? And she recommended this really big angled face brush, $9.90, This is from a sort of higher end line that they do, so it was £13. It's huge, it looks like a paintbrush, which is quite fun, but I liked that this was angled. Again, all about getting into the crevices of the face, so I thought this would be really good for setting powder around my nose, which is where my products do tend to break down because I have got an oily T-zone, and also setting it under the eyes as well. So, and when she recommended it, there was another girl shopping on the stand and she was like, oh, I have that brush, it's amazing, get it. So that sealed the deal for me, and I picked this up. I don't know if this video is going to be really long. And then because I'd already gone crazy, I don't know, this one just caught my attention. It's a Slanted Detailer 939, and so again, this is designed to apply liquid or cream products around the nose and hard to reach areas. It's all synthetic fibres, and this was £7. I went for the classic yellow. To me, Delium tools are yellow. I don't know why, I guess just because that's the first time that I saw them. And because I bought so many products, they gave me this set of reusable lip brushes, so that's quite handy to have. Then I went to MAC. I was actually really good on MAC and I didn't get any lipsticks or eyeshadows, but I did get a couple of blushes. Harmony, which is a really good contour shade, very popular. Tanya Burr's been talking about this for years. And Blushbaby, which is a nice neutral. I think that I already have this. Whoops. So I think what I'm probably going to do is see if one of my friends wants the one that I already have. And I'm going to make up a little palette. Because I don't have a MAC blush palette yet, but I do now, because I picked that up too, just the classic palette and the blush insert. I renewed my Bobbi Brown Pro card, and because I did, they had a special offer on. Last year it was the Longwear Gel Eyeliner for £9, which is a product that I really like, and this year it was 2 lip products for £13, so really good bargain. Nice wearable shades as well, they're 2 of the best-selling lip products. It was a rich lip colour in the shade number 27, Nude Rose. Should I do a little swatch for you? Nice wearable neutral pink, and a rich colour gloss in the shade Pink Cocoa number 12, which looks really brown toned in the tube. I do like the Bobbi Brown lip glosses anyway, but it's got enough of a sort of pinky milkiness to it. It's quite sheer anyway. Nice high shine finish. So I do think it's still wearable. So I was really excited to see that. Talking of nude, one of the things I looked at on the Urban Decay stand was a nude lip liner. Urban Decay were there for the first year, as were, or I believe it was the first year, as were YSL. So nice to see them there. I would like to see, as I said, Smashbox. I think Real Techniques would actually do really well there, and I'd also really like to see someone like Laura Mercier there as well. Okay, I think this video is getting quite long, so I'm going to show you what I picked up from Love Makeup. They put it in a Makeup Atelier bag. And then I'm going to do part 2 as a separate video, probably NARS and Kevin Aucoin bits, so sort of high-end makeup bits that I picked up. And there's also going to be a sneaky giveaway in there, so do stay tuned for that. Another brush, I picked up one of the Ray Morris magnetic brushes. I don't have the magnetic plate, I'm not sort of particularly fussed about that because I'm not going to be using it on other people. But this is the... I think this is called the number 1 brush, really nice for contour, super soft, very impressed with that when I was just sort of touching the top of it. I picked up a backup of my Skindinavia makeup finishing spray, my favourite setting spray, I love this, and I've probably got about half left of my one from last year, but nonetheless I like to pick it up at IMATS, it's sort of a bit of a tradition I guess. This is going to last me for ages. I normally clean my brushes using Johnson's baby shampoo, and I have actually got a bottle of Dr. Bronner's magic soap that I'm also going to give a go at cleaning my brushes with, because people rave about that. People also rave about the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil as a brush cleaner. I've tried that and I didn't like it, so I'm going to stick to using that as a face cleanser, which I adore it for. But I picked up one of the clean brush shampoos. This is a goat's milk brush shampoo, solid. They had an unscented one as well, but I quite liked the lavender fragrance. Obviously some people hate lavender, so you wouldn't like this, but that was £8. And I didn't get any Zoeva brushes, but I did pick up a Zoeva lip crayon. This was a lipstick pencil, so much more of a sort of creamy buttery texture than I would associate with a normal lip pencil. Very subtle, wearable pink. Feels like it will be very moisturising on the lips, something that I could apply without a mirror maybe. And that is in the shade Second Chance. I really like those sort of sheer, comfortable, effortless lip products such as the Revlon lip butters, so that's why that appealed to me, and it wasn't expensive, and I've never tried Zoeva makeup before, so excited to try that. Anyway, as I said, do make sure you're subscribed so that you get to see stage 2 of this video. I'll see how long this is as to whether I put the vlog at the end of this video or the next one, and then I'm also going to do a separate NYX haul as well from the products that I picked up on the NYX stand. So I hope that you've enjoyed this, and as I said, stay tuned for part 2.